Hi, welcome to the GlamLife Podcast. My name is Victoria Rocca. You might know me as Victoria Glam if you follow me over on Instagram. And if you don't worry about it because I'm here for you on Spotify. Listen, I was out last week. My kids had this crazy thing called a fever virus, which basically just means they run a fever for days at a time. And every couple hours, you give them ibuprofen and Tylenol and they feel better until it wears off and then they have a fever and you give it to them again. Very annoying. And even more annoying was that the poor kids did it one at a time. So the older one had it for a few days. We suffered. He started to feel better. The younger one got it for a few days. The household suffered. So yeah, not my most fun week ever. I did get a lot of things done around the house because I was housebound with the kids. And I caught up on a lot of gossip. So celebrity and otherwise. Have you seen Justin Bieber? It's not going well. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on. So, I read books so that you don't have to. And I like to go through this book called Actionable Gamification. It is a very fat book. I mean, it is thick. But it is kind of a standard, I think, in anyone who's looking into honing their skills as a human being, I guess, because some people use it in their business. Some people use it to just get through. I saw this girl post like ADHD had her paralyzed pretty much. Like she wanted to do this, but she wanted to do that. She wanted to do that. She wanted to do this. She couldn't sit down and figure it out. Gamification kind of allows you to combat that mentally. It's like a mental trick in your brain that helps you to want to push through and accomplish things. And there are 8 points that go into it that I'm going to discuss today. It's called the Octalus. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly because, of course, I've only read it in a book. But yeah, they call it the Octalus. The 8 points that influence people in gamification. And I'm going to tell you specifically, because I read the book, so you don't have to, I'm going to tell you specifically how these 8 points, this Octalus, can help you or be used and integrated into your beauty business for incentivizing customers or students if you're an educator, et cetera, et cetera. So the first one, they say people want to feel the epic calling. And when they're talking about the epic calling, they are talking about being something that's part of something, like being part of a community, being something that's bigger than you. So I already mentioned Justin Bieber. Let's talk about that. Remember when people called themselves Beliebers, which was an epically stupid name, but okay. Wait, really? You guys called yourself Beliebers? He was like 9 years old or something. Like, what a weird life he's been having. No wonder he's not doing well. But he's not doing well. He's not doing well. He went live this week, and I don't know that Justin Bieber's on drugs. But after watching that video, I would say I'm not sure that he's not on drugs. I think that he needs some real help. And where was Haley? Probably trying to get people to buy fucking terrible lipstick, lip gloss, lip liner. That lip liner looks terrible. It looks terrible. It looks like when your kid comes out and swears they wiped well enough and they did not. That's what that lip liner looks like. It doesn't matter, whatever. That's not the point of today's video. So yeah, if you can get your own group name for your VIPs, for your students, whatever, you're like, if I called you guys the Glammies as my listeners, that counts as epic calling. But it shouldn't be just me saying that you guys are that. You guys got to say you're that. You got to say like, I'm a Glammy, which I am aware is what some grandmothers call themselves when they can't reconcile the fact that they are grandmothers. So you might have to think of something else. The second point is called the call for development or achievement. And basically, this is the same ideology that Apple used when they created your fitness tracker. Like you want to close all your rings. You don't get anything if you close all your rings. You don't get anything. And truly, I know you can share it with someone else and you guys can compete against each other. No one cares. Nobody gives a shit if you close all your rings. Nobody cares. But something about it just makes you want to do it. And if you haven't done it in enough days, you're going to stop wearing your watch. Watch. You're going to stop wearing your watch. The third point is called creativity and feedback, or the call for creativity and feedback. And that is kind of true, right? You want to be able to customize things yourself. but have somebody else do it because maybe you don't own that skill set. We see this all the time on Etsy. It's not enough to just buy their design. You want it customized. You want it with your initials. You want it with your name. Man, boy, that's a thing, huh? And been a thing my whole life. Everybody wants to know when you pull over at that gas station in the middle of a road trip and you see all those keychains, you want to see if they have your name. I bet they don't. I bet they don't have your name. They might. What's your name? Elizabeth. They have it. What's your name? Victoria. They might. What's your name? Waylon. They don't. But you look, you sit there and you spin the whole rack and you look, you spin in the block. You spin the rack and you look at every single name tag to see whether or not your name is going to be there. And it's because you want that customization. You want to be included, but you want it your way. Like Burger King, have it your way, right? There's a reason that is a pillar, cornerstone of their marketing. Have it your way. And people also really like the be featured because it's like a virtual attaboy, like you're doing great. You can show that off to your mom, your best friends, your classmates. Like, oh, I submitted my work and I was actually featured in this magazine. And Inked magazine exploits that like no one else on the planet. I can't think of anyone. Playboy used to do it, which was wild because they were getting you to take off your clothes for free. And they would show it to every man in America, or woman, if you want to. And people were like, I am honored. I am honored. You want to see my cookie? Okay. For free? You got it. Take the picture right now. Right now. I think that's wild, but there's something about it when you say, oh, submit your work and I'm going to feature you on my platform. Lots of people will see your work. You think, oh, I need the exposure. It's brand awareness. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes that does absolutely nothing for you. So, but it's interesting that psychologically it's an attaboy that we chase. Another one is ownership. And this is real big because are you ever going to own Brow Sister? Probably not because no one's made me an offer worth enough yet. But and I would love to sell it. So if you know anyone with an extra $1.2 million, I'll take it. But the buy-in that I'm talking about is more like when I used to run a boys and girls club, we would talk about how club members needed to buy in. And that didn't mean that they actually were going to own a piece of the Boys and Girls Club. That meant that they needed a reason to feel ownership over the space so that they would take care or take pride in the things that we had or that were donated to the club. Because listen, if kids don't feel like it's theirs, they're going to treat it like trash. And renters do the same by and large, don't they? You know, it starts off with the best of intentions. And then by the time that they're leaving, they're like, fuck it. I'm leaving anyway. Just keep my security deposit. I really don't care. Same thing happens at the club or any after school care or any summer camp. You know, if the kids don't feel prideful about their surroundings, they're like, oh, well, that's broken. So what do I care if this breaks? Or there's trash everywhere. What do I care if I throw my trash on the ground? That kind of thing. So what does that look like in your business rewards program? So for every X that I spend, I'm getting these things free or I'm achieving these milestones. So, you know, for every 100 that I've spent, I level up another level in rewards members. So I'm a platinum, elite, double, triple status Glammy. Like, what are you? Mm. Oh, you're a gold member. Wow. I'm platinum, double, triple elite. So it's terminology. It doesn't really, I mean, you have to assign meaning to it. Otherwise they don't care about it, right? But the more that they buy in, the deeper ingrained into your business they become. And that's going to be hard to walk away from. They're not going to walk away from being double, triple, platinum, elite, or whatever I said. Because they're going to start over as a nobody at somebody else's shop. So you'd have to really piss them off. It's your customer to lose, baby. Social influence. So I was talking about a referral program, right? A referral program allows you some buy-in or some ownership because it feels like someone's validating your choice, right? And then you get something for it because you get referral rewards. So people are not only saying, you know what, you told me this was the best place to get my hair done, and you were correct. This blonding specialist is the perfect one. So you feel a little accomplished, but also you might get a little bit of money off of your next service because you had X amount of referrals. This can work on the flip side for students as well. Because have you ever seen like Student of the Week? Have you ever seen Student of the Week? We had that at Aveda. We had, I think, originally 13 or 14 students in my class, and we were at Aveda for 6 months. I was in the SD program. And during that time, two dropped out. So that would leave us with 11 or 12 people graduating. I never got student of the week, not even one time. Years later, a couple weeks ago, they invited me back to Aveda to speak, on success in the beauty industry and just different pathways that you can take as a beauty entrepreneur. And I almost said posthumously, but I am very much alive. I'm not a ghost. They retroactively gave me a certificate for student of the week. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Now, why was I flattered by that? Why did I care? Why did I find that endearing? Why do I care? I have proven to myself time and time and time again that I am accomplished, that I have found my calling, that I have followed my passion. I'm going to London this week to be a co-host of one of our best conferences. And so tell me, why do I care? Why was I like, yes, I needed this external validation? Student leaderboards. You know where else they had this was Abby Lee's dance studio. Remember the pyramid? You were fourth, you were fourth overall. Maddie was third and she blah blah blah. You didn't want to be on the bottom of that pyramid, and nope, catch me at the top, girl. What an honor. But it's not really an honor, and actually kind of toxic to pit these girls against each other, but very entertaining for us. And you did want to be on the top of the pyramid. Like, I want my girl to be at the top of the pyramid. I think leaderboards do help to inspire, and they give people something to strive for, and it's gamification. Every week you're working towards it. Once you reach the pinnacle, you might lose a little bit of your stamina for working so hard. You might slack off. You might not open the game as much every week, right? So you have to keep continually giving yourself a new level. You see that in video games. You have to do it in business as well. Once I achieve this goal, you get a bigger goal, and you want to get bigger, betterer. I'm making up those words, but next would be the call to scarcity. Scarcity is a very powerful tool. That means that if you got it, I didn't get it. So obviously we are feeling very competitive over this. But with scarcity, you want what you can't have. And when there's limited availability, you rush to buy it. And you've seen this with drops. When a brand has drops, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, Figs used to do this so well. They've kind of worn out the business model, but they would drop a color and they would be like, get it before it's gone. And if it was a pink, oh, honey, oh my God, you needed to buy it right now. And if you didn't buy it right now, you weren't going to have that pink. And you don't know if they're going to have that pink again. You don't know if they're going to have that color again. So if you get these scrubs and you say, this is what we wear at my work, and you need a new pair, you're SOL, baby. You're in all the Figs buy, sell, trade groups looking for that color, seeing if anyone has that color in your size, in the style that you want. Figs did that super, super well. Kylie Jenner is trying to do that with Kai right now. I don't know who's buying those drops. I don't know who's doing that. Yeezy did it with Yeezy season 1, season 2, whatever. It did really well. Skims drops something every week, so no one cares. No one cares. I will say, there just so happened to be one thing that I've bought lots of things from Skims and really love. I have to say, she really did her big one with that brand. But I don't care about all these drops that they do every week. I just delete the text. There was one thing in particular that I purchased, and a long time went by, like a year and some went by, and I thought, you know what? I want another one of these. I wonder if they have it in different colors. And I went to look for it, and they did not have it. It's this robe that's kind of plush, kind of felt. I don't really know what to call it. But they didn't have it anymore. And I was like, son of a bitch. Thank God mine's okay. I just wanted another one. I just liked it so much. I wanted two. But you can't, because apparently it was a drop, whatever. It was part of some collection. Scarcity is great. So in a beauty business, that could look like a limited time offer. That could look like a seasonal deal. If you have products, like I could do and might do, this is a good idea, might do Pink Gel Pro, where it's like a slightly larger bottle and there's only X amount available and it's only available for a limited time, and you have to have a tattoo license to be able to purchase it. That would be actually, hold on, write that down. Right, that was a good one. Write that down. Bars. Next, number seven, curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought him back. So when we're talking about curiosity, we're talking about, remember these used to be so popular and nobody really cares about them anymore because we've realized that they are completely rigged. When you used to log into a website, they would have a spin the wheel discount and it looked so cool because it was in like the right colors. And, Temu does this to death. To death. I mean, sometimes I close the app. They just put you on one spinning wheel after another, a new reward, spin the wheel, you could get it, open the mystery box. I mean, Jesus Christ, I just want to shop. Fuck. I just want to shop. I don't want any more fake discounts. They might be real discounts, but like it's fake. What discount will you get? It literally says in small print at the bottom, like no matter who rolls it, you're going to get the max amount. Like it's just for show. It's bullshit. And can you imagine trying to shop on Temu if you were battling gambling addiction? Oh my God. Oh my God. Maybe because it's placebo and you don't actually have anything to lose. Oh, maybe they'd find it too boring. I don't know. There's no risk, no reward, right? I don't know. It would trigger me. It triggers me and I don't have a gambling addiction. So do better, Timo. Ew, gross. I wouldn't recommend you do the spin the wheel discounts because people have caught on. And also I just told them. But you know what's doing really well? The mystery box. It's still doing really well. So people will sign up for monthly boxes, like an Ipsy box. Remember those? I guess it was an Ipsy bag. Remember those? You didn't know what was going to come in it. You just knew you were going to get X amount of, I think Ipsy was the full size products, right? And they would be curated for you. You'd fill out this little questionnaire and we'd check, we'd cross check it against several boxes and we'd put you in these boxes. And every month we're going to pull something from each of those categories and put it in your bag and send it to you. And it's custom for you, which we know people love customized, but also a little bit of curiosity. What am I going to get? What's in the bag? What are we going to get? People still like that. I see Jeffree Star do this really well. I love Jeffree Star. I don't give a shit if you don't like him. That's fine. You don't have to like him just because I like him. I don't give a shit at all. So please, you don't need to leave me any comments about it. I couldn't care any less. He's a little controversial, I guess, in his own life and opinions, whatever, but his business model slaps. So he is, if nothing else, incredibly adaptable. Jeffree Star started out on YouTube. We're going to talk just about his beauty business. Jeffree Star started out his beauty business on YouTube back when there were beauty gurus all over YouTube and they really ruled YouTube. Him, Laura Lee, James Charles, all these people, right? And he would make review videos. And he would, of course, get free product from the people, but he didn't care about that because he had other careers and he's independently wealthy. He has, man, his real estate portfolio is out of sight, but also he is a product manufacturer. So he makes plenty money with his own products, but he would review other people's products because in business, borrowing someone else's brand awareness is great. And when you can do it by sparking curiosity, because he gave real reviews. I wonder if he's going to like it or if he's going to hate it. Very much the groundhog on Groundhog's Day. Who cares what a groundhog does? That has nothing to do with weather patterns. But we want to see, though, what's Puxatawny Phil going to do today? So same with Jeffree Star. He understands how to get curiosity and utilize it. And then sometimes he would throw in his own products as he's applying the makeup. Maybe he's testing an eyeshadow, so he's going to use his own eyelid primer from the Jeffree Star collection. He has now adapted that business model by going from YouTube, which is currently in its flop era, to moving on to TikTok, which is doing really well. So once people saw him on TikTok, he got to 1,000 followers or whatever it is you need really quickly. And he was able to start doing lives. And he's now just doing lives and gossiping and showing off products. Now, he and that guy Shane did an incredible series that was on YouTube and it was pre-recorded and it was edited and it was great, where they launched their own brand together. I forget what it was called. It was an eyeshadow kit, but I forget what it was called. But there was ancillary stuff that came along with it. It wasn't just an eyeshadow palette. I actually stood in line, not physically, I was online, but I waited online in line to purchase the Piggy mirror and I use it at my shop all the time. I use it all the time and it was limited edition. You can't get it. Well, if you can, please don't tell me because I really waited for it and they said that it would be limited edition. I was pregnant at the time and I was eating a lot of Taco Bell and I was laying in bed and I waited. So that was like really giving up valued, scarce time of mine dedicated to this. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? because I couldn't do it later. I had to do it now or I wouldn't be able to get it. And it was so perfect. It matched my branding, my business. I needed one. So why not? Scarcity is no joke. Scarcity is no joke. And curiosity is no joke. I knew what I was ordering, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to get it. And when we started the series, when we started watching the series, we didn't know what was going to be pitched to us. We had a feeling we were watching an infomercial, but it was really entertaining. It was really juicy. It was put in the form of a soap opera. So we were watching. Now that he does these lives on TikTok and he does still review products and they do really well for him, his business model is thriving. Whenever he sells things on live, through his TikTok shop, I will hear him say very often, if you buy 2 of these, I'm going to throw in a whatever mystery box. And you don't know what's coming in it. He's always done this. He throws it in as an incentive. And it is extra money, but you don't qualify for it unless you've spent X amount, right? So you purchase like a $24 mystery box as your add-on, and you don't know what you're getting. You just know it's going to be some kind of full-size product from Jeffree Star, which you already like because you're already purchasing from Jeffree Star. That is genius, actually. That is genius. If I could figure out what to put in a mystery box, I would throw those on Brow Sister so quickly. I don't know what to put in a mystery box. The last concept is called loss avoidance. And this basically is just spelling out FOMO, what we know now as FOMO. You don't want to miss out. Pretty much that's the whole thing. So in a beauty business, this might look like, limited time, scarcity, that it goes hand in hand, but also it could be something that they can avoid missing out on. So if you reach VIP status, I mean, that was already an accomplishment, right? You've already won the game. But like I said, once you win the game, you kind of stop caring unless there's another level. The alternative to another level, if you're already at the top level and you, the business owner, don't want to keep creating new rewards, is to say, I'm going to revoke your reward if you don't do XYZ. So yeah, you've reached VIP status, but if you don't spend $200 a month, I revoke VIP status and you start all over again. So every 60 days, VIP status resets unless you've spent $200. And that is, wow, I did all this hard work already. I reached VIP status. I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to, I mean, $200, what is that? That's one full set of lashes, you know? So that's one retail shopping spree. I just have to go and visit your shelves one time. I've got the $200. And as the business owner, you just have to visit my shelves one time and I've got $200. So that absolutely is worth it if your perks for VIP members are worth it. I hope at least some of these felt like something that's applicable to your business or that you can incorporate into your marketing or your business model. I hope that you at least found it interesting. I do want to give you the heads up. I don't know what yet, but I am going to be making some changes to my podcast. I don't know specifically what yet. I just want to make sure that whatever format I'm giving it to you in is the most beneficial for you. So saying that, just, stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I will see you guys probably next Monday because I get home from London on Sunday. I will bring you anything I can find over there in the UK PMU conference. And then, of course, I will be back with more. I read it, so you don't have to. See you guys next week. Bye.